Peter Sweden here. I'm currently in Norway, as you can see in this beautiful background here behind me. Down here is a fjord. This is actually seawater, and I'm up here on one of the mountains. Absolutely incredible view. So I'm making this video here because something interesting has happened. Something I never thought would actually happen to me. You hear about this in the news, it's happening to other people, but you never thought it would actually happen to you. So, let me go through what's actually happened. The British police, the hate crime unit, has been looking for me. Now, I am in Norway. I've moved to Norway. I don't have anything to do with the UK anymore. But let me go through what's happened here. So, my family, they still live in the UK. And they have been receiving some visits from the British police, from the hate crime unit. They have actually received 3 visits, which, let me go through everything. They knocked on my family's door, my parents' door, and I have brothers as well, and they had apparently received some intelligence that me and my family apparently was under threat, so they said. But as things progress, it doesn't really seem that is the whole truth. To be completely honest with you, that is not their real intentions. That's what I believe. Because then they said, "Oh, we're going to return with these what's it called, assault alarms and so on." But it was really strange. They want to find out about me. It all has had to do with me. It has nothing to do with my family. It has to do with me. It's been me that the whole case has been about. And yeah, so they say it's about. So the hate crime unit is there at my family's house, saying they want to protect me from threats. So apparently that would imply that the British police hate crime unit is trying to protect me from hate crimes, which is very nice of them. I really appreciate that. It has to be probably one of the first times a white Christian is being protected from a hate crime, which I don't know of, has been committed towards me. I didn't know that, but they have proactively... the British police are proactively protecting a white Christian guy like me from hate crime, which I must say I haven't seen much of that before. So I really applaud them for the progress that they are doing in their work. But then a few days later, 2 days later, they then arrive again at my family's house. They come with these assault alarms that they said they would come with, and then they leave. But then this is where things get strange. The same night, at 9:30, when my 7-year-old brother is at sleep, he's got school the next morning, so he's at sleep, and so at the night, the British police again comes with this van. I believe it was some kind of van like the ones they can arrest people with and put them in the back. So they come with this van and knock at 9:30 at night on the door at my parents' house in the UK. I mean, and they have nothing to do with me, but they're going to my family. This is our 3rd time. And this time they want my contact details. They want to know where I am. They are looking for me. Apparently, yeah. It's getting really strange, this. Why are they coming at night, at 9:30 at night, looking for me? I mean, they are now coming 3 times to my parents, even including at night. I mean, this is beginning to verge on harassment. I mean, this is, in North Korea they go off, well, in communist states they go after people... families. Now there have been 3 times at my family's home in the UK looking for me. Now what could the British police hate crime unit want to do looking for me? I mean, what I struggle to think. I mean, they say they want to protect me from something they claim, but they come at 9:30 at night to my parents' house wanting to find out where I am, my contact details. I have a feeling that if I had been in the UK now, I would probably have been sitting in a jail cell for thought crime. Now, I am just an independent journalist, a humble even if I do say so myself. Independent journalist, reporting the truth about what's actually going on in our world, especially from Sweden, which the mainstream media is largely ignoring because it doesn't fit their narrative about all of the stuff going on in Sweden. You know, it's supposed to be this liberal utopia, which it isn't. It doesn't fit their narrative, so they're not reporting that much about it, but I am doing it, and I'm basically destroying their narrative. And now I had the British hate crime police after me for thought crime, which is really scary. Really scary indeed. I mean, I'm just a journalist. There is press freedom, democracy, freedom of speech. I mean, that's quickly going down the drain in the UK. 1984 is basically here now, guys. Wake up. The Ministry of Truth. 1984. Soviet. Whatever word you want to use. I mean, it's coming to the UK and it's coming quick. And luckily, I moved to Norway a few weeks before. I had no idea that the British hate crime police were actually looking for me. But I moved to Norway a couple of weeks ago, so I'm here. And fortunately, in Norway, they don't they hate crime. That's like barely unheard of in Norway. That's not something they like. In Norway, one of the one of the parties that is in coalition government, the third biggest party, the populist party, they're in government. I mean, they would all be arrested for hate speech in the UK. They've been talking about all these no-go zones in Sweden and how it's a nightmare, horror scenario, and it's never going to happen in Norway. I mean, they will be arrested in the UK for hate crime as well, because I basically just been saying similar things to what the populist party in Norway is saying. So Norway is a lot more traditional and conservative than the UK, I have found out. Now, Sweden, on the other hand, is, I'm going to say, in Europe, Sweden and the UK and Germany are the three worst countries when it comes to freedom of speech. Norway is actually pretty good. It's up there, it's really sad when it has come to the point that the journalists cannot actually report the truth what's going on in a country without getting the British hate crime police after you for thought crimes. It's absolutely insane. And if you look at the statistics, if I remember correctly, I believe it was 80. They had 80,000 incidents of hate crime in the UK last year. 80,000! Yeah, and somewhere around the region of, Breitbart reported 3,500 people were arrested for posting offensive comments online, but there was quite a few police stations that hadn't given them information about how many people they had actually arrested. So I figured out it's probably somewhere around 5,000 to 5,500 people that were arrested in the UK last year for posting offensive comments online. Now, I don't post any offensive comments online. I'm just posting news, and I'm just a journalist. But they don't even seem to like that anymore in the UK, which is really, really worrying indeed. You know, you see Tommy Robinson, they've been going after him now. I don't share Tommy Robinson's views. I mean, I'm quite, I would say my views are quite different from Tommy Robinson. But he obviously has the right to free speech. And say, when I've met the guy, he seems like a nice guy. And they've been going after him now for a long time in the UK. But I'm just a journalist, and they're going after me too. I mean, that's really scary stuff. This is the kind of thing that happens in dictatorships, in authoritarian regimes. You kind of almost think, if you ask yourself this question, the people, the heroes that fought in World War II, they would, if they saw what's happening to the UK today, they would think that the Nazis or the communists, the Soviets, had won the war and basically taken over, because it's just insane what's happening. It just cannot happen in a democracy. I mean, just think of it. You guys know me. You know that I don't post anything. Even if you would arrest people for posting hateful comments, which you shouldn't. Hate crime isn't a thing. People have the right to free speech, but I don't post such things anyway. And you guys know, you my followers, you guys know who I am, what I do, and you know I'm genuine. You know my beliefs, and you know that having the UK police, the hate crime police, after you for what I'm doing is absolutely crazy. Now, I will add, I've actually had an incident with the British police before, with so-called hate crime. This was before I started doing my journalistic work. I had an argument, I was in an argument with a lady, a Catholic. I'm a kind of more Protestant guy, so we had an argument about religion. And I apparently said something that she felt offended by regarding Catholicism. We were just having I thought what was a civil discussion. She was saying things like, "Oh, Protestantism came by through adultery," she said, and I said, "Yeah, no, I think Protestantism is I believe Protestantism is the real thing," and just so back and forth, and she reported me to the UK police for hate crime because she felt offended. Her feelings were offended by my opinions on Catholicism. So at my place of work then, a few days later, the police actually turns up at work, demanding to speak with me. And they come in and sit me down and they speak, "Oh, you know what you know why we're here, right?" And I'm like, "No, what's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, it's very serious stuff. No, you have hate crime." And I'm like, "You have to be kidding, right?" And like, "Oh no, this is very serious stuff. You committed hate crime towards this lady's religion. She feels and I'm like, and then she goes on to explaining, "Yeah, in the UK, the official the hate crime is, the official definition of hate crime is if someone feels offended. If someone is offended by what you say, then it is a hate crime." And I'm like, "You have to be kidding me." I'm like, no, this is not how life works, buddy. I mean, you cannot, it's not a hate crime to offend someone's feelings. That's not a hate crime. I mean, you have to be kidding me. I'm from Sweden. I mean, even in Sweden we don't have, even in Sweden you know that hurting someone's feelings is not a hate crime. I mean, I was almost sitting there laughing, and she was like, "Oh," you could see she was getting angry, you know. "Oh, this is a hate crime. We will let you off this time," they said, because the lady apparently didn't want to press on with the case. But they warned me that if there was any more incidents, they wouldn't be so nice next time. And I kind of have a feeling that maybe it's a little bit, maybe someone on the left, maybe some of the guys from, these guys from Hope Not Hate, or Hate Not Hope as I like to call them, another group called Tell Mama, which I believe is, that they actually work with the Crown Prosecution Service to report hate crimes, and I've actually been, I know that both these groups, that I've kind of been on their radar, if you will. They don't really like the work I'm doing, so maybe they have been speaking to the police. The police have seen, "Oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna give this guy a visit. Maybe there's some hate crime here. Oh yeah, I mean, the UK, they have 23,000 jihadis roaming the street. And they come to me to try and they want to arrest me for hate crime. When they have 23,000 jihadis roaming free on the street. They've had now, what I lost count, like 5-6 terror attacks in the UK, something like that this year. And they're going after people like me. The UK is screwed. You know, I saw a Daily Mail article here the other day about the UK police. They were celebrating some, I can't remember what it was. It was something they were doing some awareness of, apparently. And I had these police officers, male police officers, that were painting their nails. They were wearing high heels. They were dressing up as furries, which is quite funny. And they go around arresting people for thought crimes. I kind of get the feeling that the UK is not a serious country anymore. I mean, it's just crazy. So what do you think, guys? Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Give this video a like. Please share this with all your friends, because this is incredibly important to get the truth out there. To let people know what's actually happening in the UK with free speech. So please share this on social media. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And if you want to help me out, by the way, financially, guys, as I said, I am in Norway at the moment. I have quite a few things planned coming up to do. I'm going to bring a lot of interesting reportage from Sweden and from Norway. So if you guys want to support me at all, I'm fan funded by you guys. So if you want to, I'll leave my link to PayPal and my Patreon in the description below. And anything would be appreciated, guys. I have 15,000 followers on YouTube and 65,000 almost now on Twitter. If just 1,000 or two, if just 2,000 you guys just gave $1 a month, that would be enough for me to be able to do a lot more reportage than I'm already doing. But I'm doing this full time for you now, guys. And if you want to support me, anything would be appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Share this video, and I'll see you guys later.